Hello, happy people. I hope you're having an amazing day today. So today I thought it would be fun for my serial Saturday on the Saturday that I dedicate to this channel to sharing with you in the second season of Doctor Who. For you folks, this is the sixth episode parter. Love it much. It's called The Web Planet. This is the sequel to The Romans and the Rescue, a combined six-parter with 2 parts and 4 parts that were directed by the same thing. So basically here, lots of stuff happens, lots. And that sort of a thing. So as a reminder, I'm a big Doctor Who fan from way back when in Southern West Virginia at the PBS station. I grew up watching Doctor Who. My first Doctor Who serial was The Robots of Death. I was born in 76, so I am roughly the age of the fourth Doctor. He was the active one when I was watching it. I loved all the creepiness, the scariness, the horror of it. I like the props and the special effects side of mine as a kid. And then I went back and kind of dug it. I kept watching it, watched him till he died in Legopolis and regenerated into the fifth Doctor. In Castrovalva, he would go on, and he became my favorite Doctor at the time. Watched the sixth Doctor get, and then his first season too, and then when the Doctor Who went on an 18-month hiatus, I just because it was a great opportunity for them to continue to build. They were getting great ratings. They actually just went to the first Doctor and started showing black and whites from an free child on. Right? So I saw this on television as a kid, loved it lots, and then. So now the first Doctor is my favorite Doctor. Now, one of the things that's pretty cool about this black and white era and all this fun stuff, right, is that I've seen a lot of things right. It's great stuff. Love it lots. So, I've read a lot of Doctor Who novelizations because my dad was in the UK for a while. I watched, Doctor Who was my sort of thing, whereas typically my friends were watching like He-Man or things like, G.I. Joe and that sort of thing in the 80s. But this was definitely more my style. I did a Who Fest when I went to college at West Virginia University as an RA in my second year. Since I was in the honors college, I thought it would be great. I actually rented a bunch of DVDs and showed things like from the local store and showed things like the Daleks and that sort of thing for a weekend. All right, so there you are. So that's my quick Doctor Who history. Now let's get started with this. So much. Welcome to Fortis. Love it lots. All right, so this stars William Hartnell as the first Doctor. And as the recently introduced Vicky is Marina O'Brien. She was introduced in The Rescue and then The Romans is her first one. But I consider this one to be where her character begins to develop. And I think that some of the early stuff that you see in her from the future, her sort of looking down on aspirin, like, are you guys still using this stuff? I haven't even heard of it in my time, and that sort of a thing. And she actually found out that she actually was a doctorate, and she a doctor, a medical doctor, about like 10, sort of a thing, and that was just really common at that time. And you're like, wow, that's crazy. And I love that character development of her. This is where I start to feel like she starts to become her own person. I wish some of that character development had been for Susan, since she's an alien. But yeah, you get the idea. But I love that. I think there's some great opportunities to see that sorts of things. And then a science teacher, Ian Chesterton, he's also the action guy too, and takes all the action scenes since he's younger, is William Russell. The other William, and his history teacher and context provider is Barbara Wright, is Jacqueline Hill, my favorite character of this era. And the ending, no surprises why. There's no spoilers, but we'll tell you, Will is one of the reasons why. She's a great character. And also starring as the voice of the Animus is Catherine Fleming and directed by Richard Martin. And it's written by Bill Stretton, his first Doctor Who thing. And it was produced by Verity Lambert, the youngest and first female in BBC drama production. All right. So now I got over to cast. Let's talk about what actually happens on screen. This is a very ambitious script. It has no humans or even humanoid characters for our main party to interact with. It's all aliens. Not like aliens in the sense of like Vulcans, right, from Star Trek or something like that, or humanoids like the Tryons. or something like that. But really, it's all aliens, right? It's hugely well defined. I love these each of the cultures that they have, each of the distinct races that are on this planet. The planet Vortis, I think, is just so well done. It reminds me, actually, of the homeworld of Ming, Mongo, in Flash Gordon's first episode, because it's very well fleshed out. There's tons of races. All those are humans, humanoids in this case, because they're human actors. I love the Zarbis, I love it and such. I think it's incredibly strong stuff. It's definitely ambitious. I can't imagine what it would have been like to act against the Zarbi or the Monop. I think it's fun. Also, there was a mime to give them sort of hand speech and that sort of thing too. You can definitely see some great opportunity from the Monop in particular. All right, so the story is very ambitious. Like I mentioned before, the story is too, not just the sets and such. And so the Zarbi sort of representing communism, and Monoptra representing, more freedom and democracies and that sort of thing on the western side of things. So you can definitely see that too. It's also more than just a fun alien thing. It's got something to say, right? Which I like. Also, no spoilers. Remember, this is a spoiler-free review, but I definitely love the ending so very much. It's an incredibly strong stuff. I've seen this, of all the first Doctor's things, this is the one that I've seen the most, because I'll just sometimes be like, I just want to see the web planet. Sometimes. Rarely in my mind would be like, I just want to see a serial in the first Doctor era. There are some serials that will come to later if I get to that era. In the fourth Doctor era, which I'll sometimes just be like, I just want to see that serial. But this one I definitely love a lot. It's an absolute classic in my mind. Love it. It's just a lot of fun to watch and such, right? So this is I've seen it, like I said, the most. I adore here the ambition, and I didn't really mind the bad costumes for some, although these are very good. But I don't mind the Monoptra or the larva guns and that sort of thing. I like it. I think they're fine. I like the blurred lenses effects too that give it a creepy sort of world view to make it feel like it's different. I know a lot of people at the time just didn't like that much. The ratings, by the way, were amazingly good. It debuted with the best debut, and it stayed strong the entire time. So people were really tuning out for it. They turned out for this, and I totally agree. This has huge ratings, like I mentioned before, and deserved it. It's my second favorite first Doctor serial after the Aztecs from the first season, and it's also my second favorite. It's also my favorite one from the second season or the third season. So I love it so much. So I'm totally giving this a 10 out of 10. I'm sorry. I know some people just feel like the sets and the costumes of the Monoptra and the hand movements and the blurred lens are just too much to get past. But it's so ambitious. It's so strong. It's so creepy. I love it. I think it's great stuff. Love it lots. The ambition for my effects sets aside my sense of, I'm able to set aside that stuff because the story's so good. What was telling is so ambitious, right? All the different cultures on the planet, all of them different things, and that sort of thing. I love it so much. I think it's so strong stuff, so I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. Sorry about that. Alright, so there are my quick thoughts, 10 out of 10 for the Web Planet from 65. This is the one after the Romans. Love it lots. It's back to form after a couple of weaker ones to my mind, although a lot of fans probably would prefer the Romans to the Web Planet, but it's not funny to my mind. It's supposed to be a farce, but it's not funny. Anyway, there you are. There's my quick thoughts. Love this so much for you folks. Have you seen the Web Planet? If so, what did you think about it? Your opinion is just as valid as mine. Remember, I'm not a trained movie or serial or show critic, so your knowledge is just going to be as strong as mine is, right? So I definitely love to know. You can keep supporter free, just like I did. For folks, I know this like more than 50 years ago, but let's try to keep it nice for those people that are going to it fresh, right? Love it lots. Alrighty, and there, like I mentioned before, serial. I like to spend this Saturday on serial stuff. Right, and this was heavily influential. It definitely brought a lot of people to the seats in theaters. Like I started with like the aforementioned Flash Gordon, that this reminds me of, or things like things I've just gone back and reread, and also done reviews of for you too, like the Adventures of Captain Marvel, or the great one we did recently, the Spider's Web from 37. lots, or The Shadow we've gotten to. So a lot of those sorts of things. I've done The Green Hornet and such. So if you like this, definitely check this out. I've also done the first 2 seasons of Doctor Who up through this and that sort of thing. So if you like Doctor Who and you just want to check out that, that's fine too. Just watch those. I won't lose any sleep. And then also if you just like, some of these older things, yesterday I did my top 10 comedy films of all time. Love it lots. Just like my sci-fi, I like my comedy to be saying something. So there are a few comedy films there, here and there, particularly the number one that has something that actually has something that don't have something to say. But most of them do. So if you like that, you'll like that too. Even if I disagree, I like that. Alrighty. And so there you go. So check this out. Also on Wednesday, I did a review of Heroes of Might and Magic 2. On Monday, I did a review from 96, from 78's Gary Gygax's G3, the Hull, the Fire Giant King, the last one in that first Dungeons. So I like to do a lot of his older things for this show. I also do 3 reviews a week of older short stories or novels or novellas or even poems. I've done a few poems here and there. I did H.P. Lovecraft on Tuesday, Clark Ashton Smith on Thursday, Friday, a fantasy one, and the first one was a horror one, and then on tomorrow on Sunday I'll be doing the next one in a sword and sorcery collection called Renegade Swords 2. So I go back and do a lot of those older things. You can definitely tell from all those older things, that's definitely the passion of this channel. Also, its name, The Worst Thing About New Books. That's a quote by a French philosopher, Jacques Joubert, who said that the worst thing about them was that they kept us from reading the old ones. So if that sounds like something that you like, definitely do the YouTube stuff, right? Share, watch, subscribe, hit the little bell icon if you're feeling frisky when you notify my 7 videos, or just, hit the like button too if you like that too. But watch it and share it. Those are the key things. Alrighty. And there you are. I want to thank you so very, very much for taking some time out of your day and investing it, right? And watching my video, because we all have so many things that are happening, right, in our lives. And we're pulled in so many different directions. So the fact that you spend this time with me, that's incredibly humbling. So I appreciate it so very, very much. And thanks again and have an amazing day.